Welcome back, everyone. So my Math75 friends, my algebra doing friends, my friends that are going into STEM. And so that's awesome. That's excellent. You're in the right spot to get going on that. And so we're going to be looking at chapter 0.3. And so chapter 0, section 3. And so let's get into it. And so 0.3 is addition of real numbers. And they talk about different methods in the book of doing addition of real numbers, and including the number line method. Couldn't speak. The number line method and other methods, and I'm fine with however that you do it. That's perfectly okay. If you use the number line method, and it's perfectly okay if you use, I'm going to show you another method as well. Those methods get you ready to use the rule. And so I'm hopeful that you're pretty much ready to use the rule, but if you're not yet ready to use the rule, you can try some of these other methods and verify that they give you the same answer. Now, in using the rule, you have to verify that you're adding. So I'm adding this negative number with that positive number. And it says when they have the same sign, well, they don't have the same sign. This one's negative and that one's positive. So it says if they have different signs. Well, that's what these have, negative, positive, and I'm adding. Then it says don't think about the sign. Ignore it for a second. In your book, you'll read that says take the absolute value. An absolute value makes everything positive, right? So it essentially gets rid of the sign. So I'm just saying ignore the sign and subtract the numbers larger minus smaller. So now I'm thinking about the numbers 18 and 6. That's what's thinking in my head. And would you guys agree with me? 18's bigger. So it says take them and subtract them. Larger number minus smaller number. So 18 take away 6. Is 18 take away 6, 12? Right? And then, so we did that. Larger minus smaller. So we thought just about the numbers. And then give the result the larger number's sign. So the larger number from the beginning was 18, and the sign on 18 was negative. So the answer here will be negative 12. So negative 12. Now, another method of doing it is the number line method, and I just want to show you the number line method. I'm going to squeeze it in here. So that was that, right? The number line method says for me to start over here at negative 18. And all of these are spaced equally apart, negative 17, negative 16. Oh, shoot, that's not a very good number line. Lucky I didn't say a foul word, huh? I think what I could do is make my number line. This is why I don't like the number line method, is that it, imagine if I really had a lot of way to go, but it does show you how it works. Okay, and so what you're saying is you're going to start here at negative 18, and then you're going to add 6. So you're going to add 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And so I get negative 12. And then there's another method, and that other method is called the positive and negative tile method. And it just gives you the idea as well. And so to use the negative and positive tile method, you first have to understand that a positive tile and a negative tile make a 0 pair. And then it's just gone when you get one of those. Okay, so that's the first thing about the negative positive tile method. So we start off here with negative 18. So that means 18 negative tiles. So you're like, oh my goodness. So you can see that if this number was really big, I wouldn't want to do this. And maybe it's big enough that you might be saying, I don't know. So I'm doing these tiles. And you can probably see my pattern of how I counted them out to get 18. So there's 18 negative tiles, right? And then it says I'm going to add, so that means I'm going to put into this picture 6 tiles, and those tiles are positive because there's no negative sign in front of that. So I'm going to put in 6 tiles and they're positive. And then I'm going to do the positive negative tile sum of 0 thing. So here is a 0 pair. So this is gone. And a 0 pair. And it's gone. And a 0 pair. And that's 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 gone. And then the answer is what I have left. And if you count those, I have 12 negatives, so that's negative 12. So those are 3 different methods of doing the problem. One way is the rule, and the other way was the tile method. And so I'm gonna label this number 14 down here. Just I didn't have enough room up there. I could have had enough room up there. I should have, but I didn't. Okay, and so let's try this one using the rule. So using the rule, this is negative, and I'm adding it with another negative. So this time they do have the same sign. So it says ignore the signs. So I'm just thinking about 18, 8 this time, not 18, and 6. And it says add those numbers together. So I'll add them, 8 plus 6, which is 14. And then it says give the result the common sign. So this one was negative, and this one was negative. So the common sign is negative. So negative 14. And I get this all the time from people, and I'm thinking this, when you get where you can do it, you just write down the answer. I mean, you don't even, I mean, I'm showing you what I'm thinking, but when you get where you're good at it, you don't have to think like that. You don't have to write all your thoughts out or anything like that. I get this all the time. People tell me, I thought that a negative and a negative was a positive. And they use the word and. But I'll tell you, the word and doesn't mean add. The word and doesn't mean multiply. It doesn't mean subtract. And it doesn't mean divide. And so it depends on what you're doing. And so this is a sum. So this is the sum of negative 8 and negative 6. But it was the word sum that told me that we were adding. And you know that a negative means a debt. I have a debt of $8. Here's another debt of $6. I'm going to push my 2 debts together. I'm going to put my debts together in one category. And so now it would be lovely if it was a positive, right? That would mean I didn't have a debt anymore. But if I combine, if I add together 2 debts, I'm going to have a bigger debt, right? And that's what happened to me. Now I owe 14, right? I owed my dad $8, I owed my mom $6, and now I owe $14 altogether, right? And so that's kind of the deal there. If you're looking at, well, how do you do that on the number line? And they do the number line approach in your book. So here's negative 8. I'm going to put it over here. And then we're to go 6, but not in the positive direction. We're to go 6 in the negative direction. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I'm going to put these numbers on here. Negative 9, negative 10, negative 11, negative 12, negative 13, negative 14. So if I'm here and it says for me to go, this plus would tell me to go in that direction, but when I get to that negative, it tells me to go in the negative direction, and I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that negative is an opposite, go in the opposite direction, and then I get negative 14. Now, if you wanted to do the tile approach on this one, I'm not going to do the tile approach on all of them, and I'm not going to do the number line approach on all of them, but just so that you kind of know kind of how the negative positive tile thing would work. This tells us 8 negatives. So in our situation, we have, I don't know why I put the circles around them before. It didn't matter. I didn't have to do that, but I guess I'll just be consistent. but I could have just had negative signs out there. I don't know if it's worth starting the video again to do that. And then I want to add -6. So I want 6 of these more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And there's no 0 pairs, right? I don't have any pluses and minuses. So the situation's over, so I would count them. And when I count them, I have 14 of them, 14 negatives, -14. So when you add, you're putting in whatever is coming next. And so I put in 6 here. I put in -6 here. Okay, so this one here, number 24, if you just go left to right, we're adding there. And this is negative and this is positive. So if you're thinking in your head, now if you know the answer, just please write it down. So everyone says, do you have to write all the stuff that you wrote down? No, I'm doing that for people who are struggling. And so if you know the answer, just go on and that's great. And so you're ignoring the negative. So we're thinking about 6 and 9. This one was negative, that one's positive, so we're going to subtract them, right? Because different sign. Bigger number, 9's bigger, so 9 take away 6 is 3. And then larger number takes the sign, and 9's larger, and it was positive. So this is going to be +3 plus -3. And I don't have to write a positive in front of there. When you get it, if you wrote a positive in front of there, that's okay as well. And then now I have 3 plus -3, right? And do you guys agree that this guy's positive, this guy's negative, and so if they're different signs and you're adding, so here I am adding, it would be a different rule if I was multiplying, and it would be a different rule if I was subtracting, and a different rule if I'm dividing. And so I'm adding, and if they're different signs, you subtract the numbers, and the numbers are 3 and 3. And when you subtract them, you get 0. And 0 is neither positive or negative, so 0. So if you're thinking, now I have to decide who's bigger between 3 and 3, you don't. And so 0 doesn't have a sign. So there we go. We did a lovely job on that. If you want to try that with the tiles, you're certainly welcome to do it with the tiles or on the number line. If you want, it's going to be a 2-step process, just like this was a 2-step process, right? Okay, and then this one has a bit of order of operations in it. It's not just a string of add, number 44. So they do get where they have some order of operations. And so I would be inside the grouping symbol here, and I have a negative and a positive. And so I'm going to be subtracting these, right? Really? The 7 and the 10. And what do I get? I agree. I get 3, and it's positive because 10 is bigger. Oh, I changed that into a 14. I don't know why I changed that into a 14. That's why you do math in pencil, so that you can erase when you do something that you're like, why did I do that? And so now I have, as I look at it, I'm satisfied the grouping symbol, and this has now become a multiply. And so, you know, as I go through my order of operations, grouping symbols, no. Exponents, no. Multiply and divide, yeah, I have a multiply, that's 9. So -20 plus 9 plus -4. And 2 at a time. And they're going to show us a property that says you don't have to go left to right when you're adding. But for now, I don't know what section that's in. I think it might be 1.8. I'm not sure. And so from now, so -20. So I am thinking to myself, gosh, I owe $20. And I can pay back 9, right? I have 9 to give back. And so how much am I going to owe when that's done? Yeah, I'm going to owe 11 still, right? And so plus -4. And so now I owed 11, and I had another debt of 4. So the debt of 11, a debt of 4, all together, because I'm adding my debts together, I'm going to have a bigger debt. I'm going to owe 4, and 11 is 15, right? So I'm going to owe 15, and negative for owing 15 there. And so we did a lovely job at that. So that's section 1. That's section, not 1.3, 0.3. And so we'll see you in the next video.